What's going on, guys? Tyson the Trainer here, back with another episode of Sports Talk. And today I actually want to talk to you guys about recovery, right? Because I don't think I've actually touched much on this. And recovery is one of those really important things. And like in this side of things, we're going to be talking about sleep recovery that I think, some people still miss out on. They think they don't need it or, they undervalue it when sleep is one of the best things you can do for your recovery, hands down. And if you want to be a better athlete, if you want to ingrain what you've learned for the day, if you want to make sure that you're just, being able to consistently perform well, then making sure that you are getting enough sleep every day is so important, okay? So when it comes to sleep, firstly, the recommendation for sleep is 7 to 9 hours. It's not 6 to 8 hours, it's 7 to 9 hours. No one should be sleeping 6 hours. Okay. Now, some people are gonna be like, oh, well, I can get away with less sleep, or if I sleep less, I kind of notice that I have more energy, and that may be true. That you may notice you have a little bit more energy, but it's not consistent, because a lot of people will find that, oh yeah, I have energy, I'm not sleeping as much, but it's because you're in a stress state. It's because your body is basically on alert mode now. You're like, oh man, you've got to be wide, you've got to be awake because you haven't slept properly, and you're running more off adrenaline than anything. And then what do? When we have shit sleep, we go for coffee. We start loading off on coffee more. So you may think, yeah, I have more energy, but you're also having 2 or 3 more coffees a day. And so we want to make sure that we're getting good quality sleep again. There are so many benefits that happen with sleeping. Muscle growth will happen when you're sleeping. Growth hormone is released when you're sleeping. You will get, cortisol drops when you're sleeping to get recovery overall. You will make sure that, not neurons, what's the word I'm trying to think of? When you're learning a skill and things like that, it's being ingrained into your brain when you sleep. Humans are the only people or animals, humans are the only animals that actually, choose to push off sleep, or what's the word I'm trying to think of here? Humans are the only animals that choose to disregard sleep. I can't remember the word that I'm trying to think of. They just don't, it's not an important thing to them all the time. Whereas any animal, they'll sleep when they have to, because it's important. And we seem to be the only, mainly because we're conscious, to make the decision to put it off or to neglect sleep, and it's not a good idea. Okay? So when we're talking about sleep, there are a few different things we can be doing to make sure that we're optimizing that, right? First thing is having a bedtime routine. Ideally, about 30 to 45 minutes before bed, you should be having some type of routine in place. So when I say routine, maybe you're going to bed at 9:30. Firstly, before I say this, none of you should be going to bed after 10 p.m. Nothing exciting happens after 10 p.m. And for every hour after 10 p.m. you go to sleep, you do not get as well of a recovery benefits or good REM sleep or good deep sleep. It's been shown that when you go to sleep later, you are ruining your recovery. You are ruining a lot of things going on in your head and your body. So try and get to sleep before 10 o'clock ideally, right? So let's say again, you are going to sleep at 10. At 9:15, there should be an alarm that goes off, and then you should have the next 45 minutes to get you organized, to get ready for bed, to relax and fall asleep. Because if you're averaging, let's say you need to get 8 hours of sleep on average, you're going to go to sleep at 10 o'clock and you need to wake up at 6 o'clock. You do not get into bed at 10 o'clock, okay? Because maybe you lay around for 10, 15 minutes, maybe you fuck around, maybe it's half an hour. Then all of a sudden you're getting 7.5 down to 7 hours of sleep or less, okay? So if you need to be asleep by 10 o'clock, get into bed by 9:30, 9:40 and give yourself time to fall asleep, all right? So with that being said then, we set an alarm at 9 o'clock, so an hour before bed. 9 o'clock, the alarm goes off. You get up, you put everything, this is what I do, so you guys get an idea. TV goes off for me it's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, TV goes off, put away everything in the dishwasher or into the dishes, whatever it needs to be, go into the bathroom, clean my teeth, go into the bedroom, turn my fan on, lay in bed, shut all the blinds, turn the aircon on, listen to an audiobook. And then I listen to an audiobook for about 20 minutes and I fall asleep, okay? So I've got an alarm that goes off and I know exactly what I need to do. Kitchen, clean the teeth, empty the kitty litter, that's also a rule I gotta do. Shut the curtains, turn the fan on, lay down, listen to an audiobook, go to sleep, all right? That I know exactly what I'm gonna do. That way I'm asleep before 9 o'clock, give or take. I wake up at 5 o'clock and I'm sweet, right? Other things that, so for you, firstly, put in a routine so you can actually get to sleep. Other things that I also do is I also make sure that my room is blacked out. So like I say, curtains are down, so there's no light coming in. I use an eye mask so that it's pitch black on my eyes, and I also make sure my room is cool, okay? Because ideally, we should be sleeping in a cool room, about 18 degrees or less. I think I said. So 18 degrees or less, making sure that, again, you are having pitch black room because any light that comes in is not going to help you fall asleep. Especially like, even though we have our eyes closed, if we have light coming in, you can kind of see it, right? And not only can you see it, we actually have, can't remember the word that I'm trying to think of now. We have like a clock, a circadian clock that is basically in our brain. And when light touches our eye, it's sending a signal to the brain saying, hey, it's daytime, okay? So with that being said, if I'm laying down and there's a street light coming in, as I can, there's a light on my eye, I'm not gonna get good recovery sleep. So that's also something you need to be aware of. This light that's shining in my eyes right now, this LED light, is not good for my sleep. So I'm not gonna record this at night, right? And so with these things, like, it's just little adjustments to help benefit your sleep that's gonna make your recovery, your performance, and everything so much better. And it's such an underrated thing. Another thing that I recommend is to get yourself some blue light blocking glasses. Now, blue light blocking glasses aren't amazing for eye strain on computers or anything like that. That's not really the benefit. But it has actually been shown that it does help block out blue light at night. And so at 6 o'clock, I actually put my blue light blocking glasses on, because what that's doing is telling your brain, hey, it's getting evening time now, because TV emit blue light. We can put the app on our phones now that actually turn off blue light. I think it's just called blue light blocker or whatever it's called. Like, we have all these things. And so, the apps, the iPhone apps, the Samsung Galaxy, all those things are aware these blue light blockers blue lights cause issue. And so they've even made their own little things to be able to turn it off. And so you need to be able to do the same thing with yourself and, by TV and stuff like that. And a simple way to do that is to get yourself some blue light blocking glasses. I used to have some red ones. They look pretty creepy. But now I've got some, clear ones, and so does my partner. And at 6 o'clock every night, I put them on. I also sit and read at about 7:30ish until 8 o'clock. So I usually do a fair bit of reading, because again, what we want to do when it comes to, getting into a good routine for sleep is also stepping away from the day, because a lot of people can be stressed out from the day overall. You could have had a stressful day at work, you could have had a stressful day with your team, you could have had a stressful day with the coach, whatever it is, and you're feeling a bit overwhelmed and just ugh. And so being able to unwind and escape reality is also a great way to be able to get to sleep, because I think a lot of people have trouble switching off. And like I said, an audiobook can be fine, or reading can be fine, or meditation, something that's going to take you away from reality, just to kind of clear your head and get you better sleep overall. Okay, so far you got a routine, a black room, make it cool, set an alarm beforehand, maybe get some blue light blocking glasses. First thing you do when you wake up in the morning, try and get some sun on your eyes. Now, it depends on where you are. Me waking up at 5 o'clock, it's not sunny at the moment, but by the time it's 6 or 7 o'clock when the sun starts to rise, I go for a little 15-minute walk, because again, we have basically a clock in our brain that I can't remember the word I'm trying to think of now. Circadian rhythm, and super. I can't remember the word. Anyways, so basically when the sun hits our eyes, it's telling us it's daytime. And then it sets us up for the day, puts us in circadian rhythm. And so what you want to do is try and get that sun on you, not wearing sunglasses or anything, walk outside, get some direct sunlight on your eyes, and you're basically telling your brain, hey, it's daytime, get me in routine, the sun's up now, I'm going to be awake, and that puts you in a good rhythm. So then by the time it gets to nighttime again, you're getting ready for sleep, okay? But again, if you have blue lights on all the time, if you've got all these things shining in your face, then you're still going to be wired. And that's why some people can be wired in the evening. And finally, caffeine. I would recommend you guys try and stay away from caffeine as far away as possible from your bedtime. For me, I do not have caffeine after 12 p.m. Okay? Well, for the most part, I don't really have caffeine because of my medication. And my medication, my ADHD medication, really keeps me up. So I need to watch out for that. But for you guys, some of you are drinking coffees at 2, 3, 4 o'clock or whatever it's going to be, or having pre-workout before you train in the afternoon. If in any way that is affecting your sleep, do not have that. Because any time, the half-life of caffeine, they say, is about 6 to 8 hours. If you have 200 milligrams at 4 p.m., at 12 a.m., you still have 100 milligrams in your body. And that's still a good amount of caffeine, okay? So it's just something we need to be aware of too when it comes to that, is our caffeine intake, and trying to keep that away as far as possible from at sleep time. If you can have caffeine in the afternoon and you sleep like a baby, then cool, you metabolize it well and you've got it good. But not everyone can, so again, it is person dependent. But most people who pretend like they can actually aren't. So it's just about, at the end of the day, having a little bit of humility too. So guys, that is the podcast. I hope that was helpful. Hope that gives you a bit of an insight about sleep. If you have any questions, as always, make sure to hit me up at Tyson the Trainer with 2 R's on Instagram. And until next time, speak to you then.